before a game.
He knew how to fight. I know that from off the floor. One night, somebody was giving one of his buddies a hard time, and Larry went over and, said, hey, this is my friend, and this guy was a pretty good-sized guy. By golly, they go out back, and the guy turns and says something to Larry, and Larry hit this guy, and I caught him. Hit him so hard, I go, whoa.
Let's get it. We back. We got the Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, Courtship of Rivals Basketball, the documentary. Shout out to the person in the comments that told me to check this video out again, because so far what I watched, I loved, and I already can tell it's about to get more interesting. So I really do appreciate you for telling me to come check out this video. If anybody else have any other suggestions, please drop the links or tell me where to go and look for that, and I'll go find the video. Someone requested me to do a video about Michael Jordan and the Space Jams era, where it kind of basically like encouraged a lot of young folk to want to play basketball. So if Michael Jordan is a player that you guys want me to check out, please drop a yay or a nay in the comments, because I know from some of my last Michael Jordan videos, they were iffy. A lot of people didn't watch them, some people did, so just please let me know. But in the meantime, I'm gonna add something onto this watch later list over here. As y'all can see, I got some Bill Russell over here, some Wilt Chamberlain, a lot of Larry Bird. I got Robert Horry. I want to learn more about Robert Horry. But yeah, please drop some in the comments. Hey, if you're new to the channel, it's your boy DtaeNoDinero. Please subscribe, drop a like for the video. That way more people can come tune in with us and join the Larry Bird family that we got going on over here. And this is basically one of the reaction channels. We just, watch a lot of old school sports and touch on it and, compare stuff that we don't see no more in sports, mainly basketball. I'm a hooper. Anyways, I've been talking y'all head off, so let's get ready. Let's get to this video. If you didn't see part 1, because this is part 2, like I said, it's a part of the playlist, so all you gotta do is just go to the channel, click the playlist, or look for the last video I dropped on Larry Bird, and join and keep up. But turn the notification bell on. That's the only way you're gonna be able to keep up. Silly, but let's get it.
The focus of fans, and more importantly, of Michigan State.
We actually had 2 men on Larry everywhere he went.
There he is, Dick. Look at they have him sandwiched in completely.
I'm surprised they didn't play a box on one. 4 guys on Larry and 1 on the other 4, because they didn't have a lot of talent. If you stop Larry, you pretty much stop them.
Look at the pressure around him. 2-3 men, and he's short.
I didn't play well at all. Biggest game of my life, I didn't play well.
Third, way short.
I think our length and our size, our jumping ability was able to bother him.
Bird hanging. Around him. 2-3 men, and he's short.
I didn't play well at all. Biggest game of my life, I didn't play well.
Bird, way short.
I think our length and our size, our jumping ability was able to bother him.
Bird hanging. Can't score.
I didn't shoot well. Missed, I think 3 free throws.
Larry Bird has had a cold shooting night.
I battled him, but I didn't have it.
Whoa, that was a no look.
It's all over. Michigan State University, national champions, 1970.
They won by like 12.
Not only were you a leader on offense, I thought you did a great job on Larry Bird in the zone, denying him the ball.
Yes, Coach gave us a good game plan to go against Larry Bird, and all we had to do was go out and do it. That's what we done.
And congratulations, Super Bowl game.
Wow, Larry got his head
It was
down.
over, That was my 4 years. I was done. It still hurts. And when you win 33 in a row and you walk into a game, you never know what to expect, but I expect to win. We didn't win. Toughest loss I ever took.
I knew it was going to haunt him forever because we were going to see each other a lot.
The National Basketball Association, in its 33rd season, is troubled by diminishing crowds and declining television ratings, signs that fan interest may be waning.
If college basketball was flourishing at the end of the 1970s, the pro game was crumbling. After the golden era of Bill Russell and Jerry West in the 1960s, a merger with the ABA in 1976 had led not only to new teams, but a new temperament.
It was a new league with new times, with renegades, with individuals.
There was an argument made, plausibly, I think, that it was too black a league for the United States of America in the late 1970s.
You think about the Knickerbockers at the time. The running joke was it was the Knickerbockers. You know, that's what it was. It was the N-word.
Wow, that's crazy. That was the nickname for the Knicks. Hey, one of these days in the past, an analyst on ESPN had said something. I think it was about the Knicks. If anybody remember the story, man, he called him a racial slur, but now I know why. Hey, man, I'm glad we had passed those times where, even though some of the stuff is still said, people don't take it to the heart as much. Put like that.
It's turning off a lot of white customers that are coming to the game, you know.
Why?
I think there's a conflict between the white and the black, and I don't enjoy going to basketball and seeing all black players.
I mean, I think when they said too black, they meant not just in terms of color, but in terms of style. Let me get mine, and the hell with yours.
Basketball for us was about the best moves. You wanted to be that big player that everybody talked about. You wanted to be the one. You didn't think about winning championships or team play.
And those were just the issues on the court.
The NBA had this image of an all-black league with a bunch of guys who did drugs.
Hmm.
The teams were losing money, and they had no sponsors. And that's pretty much a death knell right there.
It's a known fact that you need your white superstars. You just need more white ball players on the team for the white fans to identify with.
And in the newest member of the Boston Celtics, that's exactly what the league appeared to be getting.
There's hope he can help solve professional basketball's difficulties, which some say are compounded by a question of black and white.
The Great White Hope.
So that's where he get the nickname the Great White Hope from. I thought it was just a meaningless name that they came up with. But whole time they really had issues with sales and making money in the NBA based off of a lot of black players being in the league and people not coming to watch. Probably because they couldn't afford tickets. But nah, I take that back. Overall, in general, those were definitely some wild times to have lived in. Shout out to anyone that survived those times and came out a very humble person, a good person, because I'm pretty sure the stuff that people went through back then probably would have changed a lot of people's mindsets and hearts. Shout out to y'all.
What does that mean?
Well, you know, it's very hard to say because there's a lot of great white players around, and I just hope that I can just fit in as well as some of them that has fit in.
He ran away from that designation. He made it very clear, almost from day one, that he was not the Great White Hope.
You know, the great players are the black players, and they're the best.
Such deference meant little to black Celtics like Curtis Rowe, Sidney Wicks, and Cedric Maxwell, who looked at Bird and saw not the Great White Hope, but another case of Great White hype.
He didn't impress me no more than any white guy I've ever seen play before. I think that you would say that most black players at the time were racist, in the sense that we did not think that you could find a white guy who could play better than any black guy.
When I walk in the first day of camp, them guys were on the floor stretching, and here comes the white savior, here comes this, here comes that. I sort of enjoyed it because I knew I was going to battle them all day. But Curtis and Sidney didn't last long. They didn't even make it through the first practice.
Wow.
They were cut. So then it was just Cedric.
I'm thinking, oh, he's slow. He can't get off a shot. He's not that strong. This is going to be a layup. Bam. Knocks down a jump shot. Okay. Maybe that was luck. Gets the ball again. Bam. Knocks down another jump shot. Now I'm thinking like, okay, hey, you know what? I'm going to D this guy up. I'm going to show him what it's like. 20 feet away. Bam.
Bam.
25 feet away.
Bam.
My mind just goes to the, damn, this white guy can play.
Surprised
It
they
was a
ain't get
good
the nickname
thing,
Bam
too.
Bam.
The storied Celtics might have been the winningest team in NBA history, but they were fresh off their worst season in 30 years. And in Bird, they had a player who was not only supremely talented, but tough enough to take on any challenge.
You know, I always played like everybody in the world was against me. I thought everybody was against me.
Yeah, I don't appreciate that, man. I don't appreciate that, man. We did a video in the past, and I think a little different angle, and it looked like Charles Barkley and Karl Malone were holding Larry Bird back when Dr. J was hitting him. I don't appreciate that, man. Hey, look, man, just let y'all know again, like I told y'all before, man, we can go ride on them boys. We can go Philly right now. We can go to Philly right now. And set that 1-on-1 up again, man. Just letting y'all know, we set that 1-on-1 up again. Anybody jump in, it's turning into a brawl. I'm joking. I don't promote no violence. I was joking. I just didn't like seeing Larry Bird getting jumped on by 3 people. But shout out to Larry Bird for standing his toes, standing his ground, and never backing down.
Things to get me rattled before a game.
He knew how to fight. I know that from off the floor. One night, somebody was giving one of his buddies a hard time, and Larry went over and, said, hey, this is my friend, and this guy was a pretty good-sized guy. By golly, they go out back, and the guy turns and says something to Larry, Larry hit this guy, and I caught him. Hit him so hard, I go, whoa. He was from the old school, and that's how he played.
Larry Bird plays it to the hilt, baby.
Played the game hard. Played rough.
There was no frills about him.
They hated each other. I still think they hate each other to this day. I still think they hate each other to this day, y'all. This is crazy. Like, this is what the NBA went from to what we deal with now. Like, there's crazy times to be in the NBA back in the day, man. I can only imagine, like, just going and driving to, get a lane. You about to take a fast break, or you cross somebody, you got a lane, like you about to go for a layup, and somebody just elbow you. You ain't getting no free points. Ain't none of that over here. Take that back home with your mama.
He came in, he threw elbows. There was nothing smooth about Larry. New Englanders like that. They're hardworking people. They like that. That's how people view them.
The grit.
And that's what Larry was.
Larry Bird follows his own shot.
They also like winners. And when Bird led the Celtics to the NBA championship in just his second season, he was finally one of those too.
Shout out to you that told me about Larry Bird winning and taking his team to the championship his second season. I forgot if it was the third or the second one, but I think he lost the second one, then ended up coming back and winning the third, right? Not mistaken. This is a part of our debate about how Larry Bird came into a team, just like LeBron did. Cleveland Cavaliers, Boston Celtics, they weren't the best teams in the league. In this case, Boston Celtics was the second worst team, and Larry came in and changed their record and took them all the way to a championship the second year. That was just a part of that debate. I know everybody still got their own opinion. If they feel like LeBron's better, they feel like Larry Bird is better. But majority of us here, we all can agree Larry Bird was better than LeBron at his age. Obviously, LeBron's been in the league longer than so many people. Now, of course, he's gonna accomplish and beat out people's accolades. The man's been there. I don't even know, like 17, 18 years. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Boston loved Larry Bird. It just wasn't so clear at first how much Bird loved the city back.
There's only one place I'd rather be, French Lick. Thank you.
Man, Larry was almost agoraphobic in his treatment of anything outside his hometown.
He wanted to be the Wizard of Oz. He wanted to intimidate people and keep them at bay. The further we are away from each other, the more I like it.
That's how country folk are, though.
A nice little house. I had my little yard. I wanted to go from there to practice back. If we had a game coming up, I wanted to go there to the game and back home. It was all basketball. My whole life was basketball.
If he was just sitting there with just me, you were looking around mumbling, trying to find things that we had in common that we could talk about. Now, we started talking about basketball, started talking about players. It was, you know, it was great. U.S. history? No.
You know, we forced passes, we made errors down the stretch.
Daily events? No.
I made the shot, and from then on we was up by 2, and they had to get back in the game, which they did.
Politics? No.
Try to not do anything I can't do or do no more than what I can do. I just go out and try to do my basic game.
He proudly dubbed himself the Hick from French Lick, and he looked every bit the part.
Gibson
But
Cole.
those who played him for simple did so at their own peril.
One of the great ways, I think, of winding up with no money in your pocket is to think Larry Bird is dumb. Syntax is not intelligence. Unlettered is not stupid.
He's got a great sense of humor. He just didn't show that to people. That didn't mean he didn't have it.
He did, however, allow the public one small indulgence.
You could come out on Saturday and watch him mow his lawn.
Huge crowd started to stop. Larry Bird's cutting grass in front of his house. He's mowing his lawn in the springtime.
Larry is about doing things himself. And I think it's one of the things that made him so beloved in Boston.
But as Bird navigated through his new world, he still had one eye fixed on a familiar foe in a faraway land.
What tripped me out was I'm riding in the limo, and I'm seeing orange trees and lemon trees in people's front yards. I said, stop, I gotta go pick an orange. Are you crazy? I said, no, I gotta do this. And so I ran up like a scared little kid, grabbed the orange and ran back to the limo. I'd never seen an orange tree. I'd never seen a lemon tree. I was fascinated.
When 20-year-old Irvin Johnson arrived in Los Angeles in the fall of 1979, he was a world away from Lansing, the only home he'd ever known. He was the #1 pick of the LA Lakers, a once dominant franchise stuck in mediocrity. In the stoic Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, the Lakers had talent, was energy. Irvin Magic Johnson was only too happy to provide it.
I don't know what happened.
Only home he'd ever known. He was the #1 pick of the LA Lakers, a once dominant franchise stuck in mediocrity. In the stoic Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, the Lakers had talent, was energy.
Okay.
Irvin Magic Johnson was only too happy to provide it.
Lit the place up. Changed the franchise, changed the temperament. I changed it from the very first game. Here it was, the first game of a long season against the lowly Clippers. And Magic was embracing Kareem as if they'd just won their 10th straight championship. It was like, man, this is a different kind of dude.
Happy to be in the league.
From the day he arrived, he became the prince of the city. He reminded me of a guy who wakes up without an alarm clock. And that's what I used to always say. I want to be happy enough to wake up without an alarm clock because I want to go into my world.
He had it, what it is. As far as I was concerned, the it was not his ability or his size. The it was his attitude, was his leadership, was his mind. I mean, I don't have to talk about Game 6 at Philadelphia.
Magic Johnson will shove.
In his rookie season, Magic had helped lead the Lakers to the NBA Finals against the Philadelphia 76ers. In Game 6, with an injured Abdul-Jabbar back home in LA, Magic played all 5 positions, scored 42 points, grabbed 15 rebounds, and dished out 7 assists. leading the Lakers to the championship.
Wow.
In just 4 years, he had won titles in high school, college, and the pros.
Magic, what do you have that makes you perform like this in these championship games?
Well, I don't know. Just I love to win.
Across the masthead of the Los Angeles Times the next day, it said, "It's Magic."
He was a star when he first arrived here, coming off the NC2A game. And quickly, during that first season, he became one of the stars in town. But that game put him on another level. That made him the star in town.
42 points is crazy.
It's funny how I wanted to meet the celebrities, but they wanted to meet me. I was like shocked. Like, wow, you know who I am?
He was young, famous, and after Lakers owner Jerry Buss signed him to a 25-year, $25 million contract, very rich. The kid from Lansing was ready to sample a different kind of fruit. His playboy boss knew all the ripest trees.
I said, oh, I'm hanging with him. When they were coming into the box, and he had 10, 20 of them, and look, Irvin, which one you want? And I was like, oh, okay, it's like that? And then he said, I'm going to take you to the Playboy Mansion. What?
So he ruined your life, Magic. Hey, listen, man. This is a safe space. You can say whatever you want in the comments, man. This is a safe space. Speak freely. But he ruined your life, Magic. Why he introduced you to all them little honeys at that early of an age. Knowing you like a kid in a candy store, you ain't gonna know what to do. He ain't care if the candy had wrapping on it or not. If you still here, man, I appreciate you. If you like the video, if it's your first time coming to the channel, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on part 3 and part 4. We still got about 7 minutes left for this video, so let's go ahead and get back into it. But just don't forget to like the video. Nah, come on now. Come on now.
The
Nah, I'm messing
mansion.
around.
No, you're kidding. I said, yep. So I went there, and my first time, I'm backing up like, I can't believe I'm in, but I'm backing up away. You know, it's like, I'm scared to death. Probably 10 guys to 100 women, you know. Everybody
I was about
think
to
it's
say,
sex
they thought this was
driven, but it's
PG-13,
really
not
not.
rated R.
You have dinner, then you watch the latest movie. And then, of course, I don't want to ever say that sex wasn't involved, because if you meet somebody, that's what you wanted to do. You did that, but it's really a great experience to go up there. So yeah,
I bet it was.
I had fun there.
He came to L.A. like the Pied Piper. You know, people were giving him this and giving him that, but you know, he stayed pretty grounded to the game.
Everybody was getting high then, but you can't even smoke a joint around Magic.
He had real old school, down in the trenches work ethic.
Discipline.
And that was honed in him by his dad, Irvin Johnson Sr.
Magic was always this guy. You know, he never did none of that, so I did everything for him.
Magic Johnson was living on a natural high. He was starring in the role of a lifetime, point guard of a Hollywood team with an offense called Showtime.
Yo, Arsenio Hall admitting to being a user settled and subliminally. In this documentary tells me all I need to know. They airing out everything. They airing out everything. They not hiding everything. Nothing. Everything's getting disclosed. That is crazy.
He even had the alter ego perfect for the production.
I mean, Magic was his stage name. Even he would laugh about it.
Well, he always says there's two people. There's Irvin Johnson from East Lansing, and there's Magic Johnson from Hollywood.
Irvin Johnson is another guy. You know, here's Magic over here and here's Irvin over here.
Irvin is this fun-loving guy. Magic was so serious and dedicated to his game, and he was a crazy competitor and a crazy man.
Irvin, I think, is the smiling kid from Lansing. I think Irvin died about 25 minutes after the NCAA championship game.
Irvin doesn't have the ego that Magic has. Magic got a crazy ego, and winning is everything.
It is.
Irvin wanted to, along with Magic, conquer LA.
After having led the Lakers to 2 NBA titles in their first 4 years in town, Magic and Irvin were well on their way.
Why is the narrator speaking on Magic and Irvin like they two separate people? Come on, man. You confusing people talking about them as they got there in their first 4 years. Come on, bro. It's the same person, man. I understand. Everybody got egos. I do it too sometimes. My name on here for how I do my videos. I do the same exact thing. I am not the same person when I'm living my regular life. I do got some of the same charisma and characteristics about myself. But, you know, when I'm on here, it's showtime. You know, what can I say?
I think Magic wanted to be friends with Larry Bird. He wanted to be friends with him on the World Invitational Tournament, and Larry just wasn't very receptive. I think he wanted to be friends with him during the Final Four. Larry wouldn't even go over and shake his hand. So now Magic's saying, well, what's with this guy? Everybody loves me. How come you don't love me? And then they get to their rookie year, the first time they play each other. Well, they have a very hard foul.
Earlier that same day.
The PR person from the Lakers says, hey, Irvin, the Rookie of the Year voting has come out. And Magic says, okay, well, who won? He said, well, Larry Bird won. And Magic says, well, was it close? And he said, oh, no. He went out that day, yes, to try to win the NBA championship, but also to prove it to one Larry Bird. You know what? I should have been Rookie of the Year.
Even though I won the championship, I still wanted to win Rookie of the Year, too.
He won that championship. I was pissed. I want him one.
But even after he had won one the next year, his obsession only grew deeper.
I'd get up in the mornings and see what he did, because their games came on late. Then you look at the box score. I had to have him there for some reason. It's like a crutch, somebody I can compare myself to.
I hated what was being said, that Larry was better than me, and I'm just a guy who can control the game. My first 4 or 5 years, that bothered me a lot. I didn't tell nobody it bothered me, but it did.
Their competitive dislike emerged from a greater truth, that on the court, they were doppelgangers. Team-oriented stars who cared about winning above all else. Basketball savants who fused the substance of the 60s with the style of the 70s to create a new and exciting, yet selfless way to play the game in the 1980s.
Yeah, I'm gonna pass. But I'm gonna pass in a way to make you look like a jackass.
Ooh.
They were so similar in the way they competed. I mean, they were two halves of the same brain.
Same craziness to excel.
I seen that first couple days I was with him.
Basketball IQ off the chart.
Seen the game a little different, most players.
Playing the game the right way was everything.
A lot of guys can just score, a lot of guys can just rebound, a lot of guys can just make plays. We can do it all.
Larry and Magic could control the game with 12 shots. It was amazing. They'd be 7 for 12. They'd have 20 points, 15 rebounds, and 12 assists. And you go, man, the guy shot the ball 12 times and was the best player on the court by far.
But I think it was tough at first. I don't think either one of them wanted to recognize that they had any equal anywhere in what they did. But they sure as hell didn't want to recognize that their equal happened to be that other guy.
That's why we hated each other, too, because we knew we were mirrors of each other.
I I think for a while the two of them had to come to grips with that.
They had begun changing the game, but with continued low television ratings and tape-delayed finals, the league was struggling to get the word out. When the NBA and CBS signed a new TV deal before the 82-83 season, the rescue plan was simple: sell more Bird and Magic, and sell them not just as ball players, but as arch-rival characters in their own dramatic saga.
Well, on that note, you guys, that is the part 2 of the 4-part series. So be sure to turn notification bells on so you don't miss out on part 3 and part 4. Appreciate everybody that's been here so far. Just like the video. Let's try to get up to 15 likes again. That way more people could come to the channel. Every other video we've done so far in the last couple of days, they've all hit 15 plus likes. So I appreciate y'all so much. Thank you so much. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. Hey, but you know, what do y'all think about the video so far? Even back then, they were saying that Larry Bird was the better all-around player, even to Magic Johnson, and Magic Johnson was the one that won the ring. And you know, so even still to this day, everyone has and had a great appreciation for what Larry Bird has contributed to the NBA. And you know, I do definitely think both of these NBA players are two different persons of one mind alike. You can tell they got the discipline, the hunger, competitive. They came out the same year. They played against each other. College NCAA finals were two of the main people being talked about in college. Larry Bird got Rookie of the Year. Magic Johnson got the championship. And both of those are still accolades that you know, one can say he didn't get. You know, so Magic Johnson never be able to say he got Rookie of the Year. Larry Bird will always be able to say he got that. But on the other hand, you know, Magic Johnson got the ring that first year. Larry Bird didn't. Just, you know, I don't want to point out any of the key factors, but that team that Magic Johnson played on was stacked. Larry Bird was coming back to a team where he was changing their history. He was bringing that team from the second worst, you know, second worst, I can't think of the word right now. Basically record. That's what I'm thinking of. Second worst record to being practically one of the best. So shout out to both of them greats. I ain't gonna talk y'all heads off. I'm pretty sure we probably pushing about 30 minutes here. So yeah, I hope y'all have a good night or a good day, and be sure to have that notification bell ready for when I drop part 3. But let's get it, Philly.